In 1785, after returning from the Middle East, Michaux was entrusted with a scientific mission to North America. The goal was to study the continent's forests and collect plants and seeds that could revitalize the forests, farms, and gardens of France, with the hope of alleviating the nation's economic distress. Michaux's primary objective was to discover new tree species in the American forests that could be used to reforest the depleted forests of France. Michaux, then 39 years old, arrived in New York in November 1785, accompanied by his son François-André and Paul Saulnier, a gardener trained by André Michaux. Upon arrival, Michaux immediately set to work, sending Count d'Angeveller a first shipment of plants and seeds, and at that time introduced the ginkgo biloba to North America as a gift from the French government. In 1786, on behalf of the king, he purchased land in Hackensack, New Jersey, where he envisioned an ambitious project, creating an experimental garden, close to the idea of nurseries of today, that spanned 30 acres. During this time, Michaux became acquainted with the renowned botanist William Bartram, and during a trip to Philadelphia, met notable figures such as Benjamin Franklin and George Washington. In 1786, Michaux transferred the New Jersey garden to Paul Saulnier and settled in Charleston, South Carolina, where he designed another experimental garden, this time covering 111 acres. This garden would become something of Michaux's headquarters. During this period, Michaux focused on developing and expanding the new garden. He also introduced new species to North America, including Albizina julibrisson, mimosa, Lagerstroemia indica, crepe myrtle, and Camellia camellia. Around 1787, following a route suggested by William Bartram, Michaux began exploring the territory along the Savannah River with Scottish botanist John Fraser. He later parted ways with Fraser to continue his mission in Cherokee territory. On this journey, Michaux discovered Shortia galicifolia, Oconee bells, a species forever associated with his name. Between 1788 and 1791, he botanized in the tropical regions of Florida and the Bahamas, discovering species such as Magnolia grandifolia, Quercus fellows, Merica cerifera, and Rhododendron catawbiense. In 1792, following instructions from the French government, Michaux was forced to sell the Charleston garden despite his efforts to preserve it. That same year, Michaux organized a botanical expedition to Quebec. Traveling via Lake Champlain and the Richelieu River, he cataloged more than 150 native species. Michaux arrived in Montreal, where he made a brief stay and discovered species such as Elodea canadensis, new species of oxalis, and azalea. The expedition continued along the St. Lawrence River toward Trois-Rivières, Cap de la Madeleine, Quebec, and the lower St. Lawrence. Along the way, Michaux observed, documented, and collected plants at a frantic pace. He noted the abundance of Abi arbor vitae, larches, and Betula papyrifera, among many other species. Michaux's team then made the difficult journey up the Saguenay River, passing through Tadoussac and Chicoutimi. This leg of the journey lengthened the expedition due to the challenging canoeing and portaging, along with the cold, which weakened the team members. Michaux reached Lake Saint-Jean but had to stop at Lake Mistassini, intending to reach Hudson Bay. However, he decided to end the exploration due to the harsh cold, fatigue, and illness among the crew. In September 1792, Michaux's botanical mission to Quebec came to an end. From 1792 to 1796, Michaux traveled through Pennsylvania and Kentucky, eventually returning to his headquarters in South Carolina. In 1792, he met Thomas Jefferson and proposed an ambitious plan to explore the western continent to the Pacific Ocean, but this plan was never realized due to international political pressures. Back in Carolina, Michaux continued to collect plants, particularly in the Piedmont and Tuckasegee Fort areas. During these explorations, he discovered Rhododendron catawbiense along the Catawba River, from which its name originates. In the Tuckasegee Fort region, Michaux noted the presence of Magnolia macrophylla. Meanwhile, Michaux continued to manage and cultivate the gardens in New Jersey and Charleston while botanizing in the surrounding areas. In 1795, with very limited financial resources, he embarked on a solo exploration of the Mississippi River frontier, where he discovered Quercus macrocarpa Michaux. Michaux's precarious financial situation forced him to abandon his exploration projects in America and relinquish control of the gardens. He returned to France in 1795. Upon arriving in France, Michaux lived modestly, without income, but continued working on the writing of Histoire des Chênes de l'Amérique and Flora Boreale Americana.